Okay, also, I wanted to put this out there to forewarn people who are looking to go into different areas and all that. There's a person that I don't know if anyone have ran into, um, that's outside the country, a young lady who's making everyone believe that she's with the Gathering of Christ Church and are deceiving people into going where she is. Number one, she's not with the Gathering of Christ Church. And I don't really know this person like that. You understand? I've met this person one time really in the United States during a lesson called The Path to the Mark. And that's all. You understand? But she's saying things about us that are not true, claiming that we're in some type of government and all this other mess. And then on top of that, she's saying that she's with the church too, which is weird. But I'm saying this because she linked in with people who didn't know any better, and they flew to where she is, and all types of the information I'm getting back is what's to be expected. They're traveling there in another country with this young lady, and things are going very, very bad. Okay, so only thing I can say is, if you all travel and go to these other places with these people we don't know, do this at your own risk. All right. They, of course, through mainstream, through social media and other things, they're going to make it seem like they know us. And because you believe what they're saying, because you don't know us personally, you'll go follow them someplace. Okay. So there's some serious madness going there. And I hate to bring that up today, but it's something that happened this week to have me tell you, to say, listen, be forewarned. These people that you're traveling with, they're not part of the church. But they'll come off at first as if they're down with us because they know you're following our teachings. Beware. If you're contacted by someone, or if someone is contacting you and claiming that they know us and all that, make sure you send us an email so that we can let you know whether or not we know these people. So if they're on these platforms connecting with each other and telling you they know us, they don't know us. I'm going to tell you that there's no one that's amongst us that's doing that. So be forewarned. All right? Okay, someone is familiar. Yeah, the person is saying that Petra is the real Mount Zion. Exactly. She don't know what she's talking about. Okay? Ignore her. Okay? And understand that we have nothing to do with this sister. All right? All right, what's next here?
There's a few things. A lot of people saying happy Feast of Dedication.
Blessed Feast of Dedication to you all.
She put out a video against you, Elder. The next one. According to the Israelite law, the punishment for a person that transgressed against the law is stoning. But the God commanded Joshua hang the 5 kings to a tree. Is this exception because the Romans' punishment was the crucifixion instead?
No, no. That wasn't a punishment. You have to realize that stoning was in direct breaking of certain laws, where it says that person should be stoned. One really don't have anything to do with the other.
Let me just read this real quick.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 21, verse 22 through 23. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day, for he that is hanged is accursed of God, that thy land be not defiled, which the Most High thy power giveth thee for an inheritance. So hanging was also
hanging was also a capital punishment amongst Israel.
Yeah.
But you had to bury them the next day. What's next?
Someone says,
is it okay to fast on the Sabbath? If you're doing a 7-day Sabbath, 7-day fast, then of course. But when it says you're not supposed to fast on the Sabbath, it's speaking of, in particular, you choose one day to fast that week, and you choose the Sabbath to do it. That's what it means you can't fast on the Sabbath. Why choose the day that for the Most High for a sacrifice? You should choose one of your days. And to show you that you can fast on the Sabbath, Christ fasted for what? 40 days and 40 nights. There was a few Sabbaths in between that. Okay? So it's speaking of, in particular, when you choose one day to fast out of the week, it can't be the Sabbath. If you choose 3 days, some people do it continuously. It got to be 3 days outside of the Sabbath. After the Sabbath is over, you can do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You can do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever the case is, but not the Sabbath. What's the next?
Is Rahab the harlot the foremother of Yeshaya?
Someone says she said that you are a CIA operative. That's, you know, I mean, that is beyond. That's not even worthy of a response. Are you kidding me? What's next?
Someone says, is Rahab the harlot the foremother of Yeshaya? Matthew 1 and 5.
No,
That's a different Rahab.
it's a different Rahab. There's many people with different names. I mean, with the same names all through Scripture. Just like today, there's many people with your name. All right? So no, it's not the same sister. What's next here?
Someone says, I watched your video about keeping the Sabbath. My food was already prepared and cooked, but can I heat it up in the microwave or just to have warm food?
Well, personally, I don't use a microwave. You know what I mean? Because I don't understand what's going on with that. You know, that's not a natural way, but I mean, warm up your food. It's nothing, I mean, use some grace. Warm up your food. Enjoy your food. What's next?
Someone says, Shabbat Shalom.
And I'm saying this because some people might say, well, hold up. Is that kindling a fire? Let's make this clear. All right? You should try to the best of your ability not to do certain things on the Sabbath. Let's make that clear. You should do as least as possible. But it's not as if you warm up your food. That's not like what it was back in the olden days, in the Old Testament, where you actually had to work to get a fire. You had to go get the wood. You had to do the flint for the wood. You have to get, that was working. It doesn't take you anything to go to your oven and turn a knob real quick and stick something in the oven for a couple of seconds. All right? So don't be over righteous in everything. Okay? You can exercise grace sometimes.
Someone says, you skipped my question, the very first one.
The very first question, I skipped it. Where is it?
You can keep going up.
You got it? I'm sorry, but as it goes,
Yeah.
you have to realize when I open up the chat, there's only a limited enough space where if everyone began to put in their questions all at once, it'll scroll past it. So I'm not skipping people's questions on purpose here. What's the next one here?
I actually don't see their name. Faith Sue. I actually don't see their name. Keep going down.
Did you get the picture I sent Deacon Hazak of the Esau worship in the Mason Lodge? Can you send that to me? Send that to gatheringasone@aol.com. Send that to me. I would like to see that. What's the next? Shalom, Elder. Did the tribe of Dan mix with the Herodian line? No. What's next?
It says when armies encompass the city.
Let me put this, not that I've ran into and seen myself. I'm saying that because if there is a connection to Harad, you understand, and the Danites, then, I'm open to see that. But as far as I know, Harad is Idumean stock. Now, being that it says that he had Israelitish wives, if that's Dan on the wife's side, I would be open to see that because that would make a lot of sense. I haven't researched it up until this time, so I'm not going to just say no. I know it's Edomite on the father's side, but I'm going to look into that. That is a good point. I'm going to look into that. Now, that could ring true. What's next?
It says when armies encompass the cities, we should flee to the mountains. Congo just happens to be mean mountains. Could that be the wilderness? Googled it, and media.
Oh yeah, let me put this out there real quick because I told Gabar would put it out there. I'm saying this, brothers and sisters, and I put it out there because there's a sister who made a video that contacted you, lawyer, that it contacted another elder, Ramar, and that was stuck out there because she just left and she was in connection with this sister that claimed she knew us, that's saying that I'm whatever. I don't even listen to her mess. But the sister contacted another elder and say that she was out there because of this other sister and it wasn't going right. And then on top of that, there was a 19-year-old young man who also flew out there, who could have family and all that. No telling what can come of him. You understand? So I'm putting this out there to forewarn people. There's nothing we can do about their choices. You understand? That's a choice they made. But we're letting you know that this person who's not sane have opened herself up as a segue to migrate to certain places that you shouldn't be. All right? Go ahead. What's next?
That's pretty much it. According to the, that's pretty much it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That concludes our questions. I can only answer one more question, then we have to do our prayers. Faith Sue, I didn't see your question. We looked up, there was no question that was placed in the chat from Faith Sue.
Next one, someone says, how can I explain John 10:22, Feast of Dedication being in winter, when winter does not start until after the Feast of Dedication?
Read John 10 and 22.
John 10 and 22.
Read.
And it was at Jerusalem the Feast of Dedication, and it was winter.
So someone is asking, how can I explain John 10 and 22, Feast of Dedication being in winter, when winter doesn't start until after the Feast of Dedication? One moment, let me get that. Huh?
Day 8 of the feast.
The 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 8th day of the feast coincides with winter.
Say that again?
The 8th day of the feast
Yeah.
coincides with winter.
Exactly.
It comes in the same time.
Exactly. Thank you. The 8th day of the feast coincides with the winter. So winter comes in during the week of the Feast of Dedication. What's the next?
Verse 42, Acts 7. Why did the Most High said that animal sacrifice when the children of Israel was in the wilderness wasn't for him?
Acts 7 and
And
42.
42.
Let's go there.
Acts 7 and 42. Then God turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven, as it is written in the book of the prophets. Have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness?
That's because he gave them over because they were sacrificing to other gods. That's not speaking of his sacrifices. All right. You had some people, that's why the Most High swallowed them up and destroyed them in the wilderness, that were doing sacrifices to other gods. Right? Any other questions?
That's it.
All right. With that, we're going to say shalom. Enjoy the rest of your feast all over the earth. We're going to say shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah Raz Israel. And thank you. And you brothers and sisters, stay tuned for Elder and Brother Gabar. And thank you, Del, for all your help. Couldn't do it without you. So we're going to say